So what we're going to do in the next meditation, we're going to do some sound work at the start, and then we're going to have a guided meditation to cultivate some self-compassion because of the challenging time that we're experiencing right now. I think that we need to really pay attention to our own stress and discomfort in this challenging time, and self-compassion is a really powerful tool to do that. And then also cultivating the feeling of gratitude as well, because it can be challenging because the mind has the negativity bias. So often we are looking at the things that are going wrong, and a lot of us may have a lot of challenges and struggles at the moment. They could be financial, you could be losing jobs, it could be a loved one being sick, it could be being worried about being sick. For some people, the challenge is working from home, if you have a family as well that you have to look after. So in this challenging time, self-compassion is even, it's always important, but even more important. So just to say a little bit about self-compassion and how it works, the first step with self-compassion is recognizing those moments of stress and discomfort. So first and foremost, recognizing that we are struggling, and then we can apply self-compassion. And that could be some kind, supportive words to ourselves, because so often we can be very harsh on ourselves. I think we all recognize the inner critic. Self-compassion is the opposite of self-criticism. So it's saying kind, gentle, encouraging words to ourselves in these moments. And often as well, Kristin Neff has done research that placing a hand, soothing touch, because we're all mammals, we all respond to soothing touch as well. Some people might not want to touch their bodies, and that's okay too, but I'm going to give you, in the meditation, I'm going to give you some suggestions of where you can place a hand when you say soothing, kind words to yourselves, but I'll talk you through that. You don't have to remember any of what I'm talking about now. But I want to introduce these practices because they're so powerful, especially in challenging times. So again, what we're going to do is get into our meditation posture. So seating with your feet flat on the ground, you have your hands resting in your laps. We have an active but relaxed spine, so we're bringing intention to our posture. And before we close our eyes, I just want to say that we will do you can either do ohms or humming at the start of this meditation. So whichever you prefer. If you're in a house with several people elsewhere, you might want to just do humming because it's less loud. And when you're humming, I'll just do a demonstration. It's just a very gentle hum. So I'll just do a demonstration now. And for those who've done ohms before and have the luxury of not disturbing anybody, you can do ohms while we do this exercise. So if everybody would like to close their eyes now, and just feeling the body seated on the chair. Feeling supported, our feet flat on the ground. Just feeling the space that the body is taking up. Now what we're going to do, we're going to either chant 9 ohms or we're going to hum. And I want you to hum at your own breath rate, so don't try and keep up with me if it's uncomfortable for you. I'm going to hum. And before we stop humming, I will say last one, and we will do either a last om or a last hum together. So when you're ready, we'll begin humming now. Last one. We'll just sit for a moment, observing the breath, the body sensations, the mind. You may notice that the breath has become deeper. Perhaps the heart is pumping stronger. You may notice that the mind has become still. And as we sit here, connected with all our friends on this webinar, we're all connected by this very unusual and challenging time. And each of us are experiencing our own challenges, our own worries. It's very important at this time that we practice compassion for ourselves, loving kindness. So I'm going to invite you now to place your hands on your belly. If you don't feel comfortable placing your hands on your belly, you can just hold your hands a couple of inches away from the belly. So either placing your hands on the belly or hands away from the belly. I just want you to say, or invite you to say, a few kind words to yourself. You may want to use a term of endearment like darling, sweet pea. Perhaps you want to acknowledge that it's a difficult time right now. And while you always want to do your best, sometimes you face difficulties. With your warm, soothing touch, saying some words of encouragement, kindness to yourself. Now we'll move our hands up to the chest and the heart area. So again, if you don't feel comfortable touching, just hold your hands in front of the chest and the heart area. And just notice how that makes you feel. Again, acknowledging the challenges that you might be facing right now. And saying some kind, encouraging words to yourself. Giving yourself some loving kindness and compassion for what you might be going through right now. And now moving the hands up to the neck. So either placing one hand on one side of the neck or hands either side of the neck. And again, if you don't wish to touch, just holding your hands just away from the neck. And again, offering some soothing, kind words. We will get through this. Things will get better. You may wish to say, may you be happy, may you be well, may you be loved, may you be free from suffering. And now we move our hands up to our cheeks. So again, you can either just place one or two hands on one cheek or either side, cupping the face. or holding the hands just away from the face if you don't want to touch. Again, being kind and gentle with yourself. You again may wish to say, may you be happy, may you be well, may you be loved, may you be free from suffering. Now I invite you to return your hands to the place that felt the most comforting for you. And just feeling the warmth of the hand either against the body or just hovering away from the body. Feeling the comfort, feeling the warm, soothing touch. And as we hold our hands here, I invite you to think of one thing that you're really grateful for right now. With all the inconvenience of working from home or the turmoil that this situation presents us with, what can you feel grateful for in this situation? It could be more time with your family, more time to read, more time for yourself. So just thinking of something or someone that you're really grateful for in this moment. And allow this gratitude to fill your heart. Perhaps you notice the smile on your lips as you think about this thing that you're grateful for, or this person. Noticing how this gratitude feels in the body. And now you can just return your hands to your lap. And in a moment, I'm going to ring the bell and you can open your eyes. Okay, so I'll just bring Natasha back. So, would anybody like to share anything or ask any questions about that practice?
We had a thank you from Sophie.
Thank you, Sophie. Thank you,
And
Katerina. Thank you, Katerina. Grounding. Thank you, Aminda. Yeah, so it's nice. Can this one be? Yes, exactly. So that's exactly what I was about to say. Thank you, Judy. This is something that you can cultivate every day. Thanks, Aminda. I missed the classes as well in London. Thanks, Santina. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Lovely. I love the OMS. Yeah, humming OMS. Very good for basically bringing you out of the mind into the body. Marie, husband recovering. That's great to hear that your husband's recovering, Marie. Thank you so much. And I'm so happy that you're feeling so much better as well. That's so beautiful to hear. Thank you for sharing that. So yeah, these practices, everything that we're doing is something that we encourage you to practice regularly. And this gratitude or the self-compassion exercises, anytime that you notice stress or discomfort, it really, really can be helpful to use the self-compassion, the gratitude. Richard sent a message saying, I really appreciate this self-love exercise. I never thought about myself in this way. Many people don't, Richard. It's very common. And it's so nice to hear a familiar English accent. Thank you, Richard. Thank you. You're feeling isolated in a foreign country. That's lovely to hear. What great harmony. Thank you, Santina, between the two of us. Thank you so much. Thank you, Aminda. Such beautiful words saying we are great
There's
teachers.
one question from Hara.
Oh, yes. In which way?
So how the arms helps?
Okay,
Can you?
Yeah. Yes. So essentially, with the sound, there's a vibrational quality to it. So the arms and the humming, it can really bring about a stillness in the body. Not everybody experiences it, so not going in with expectations. But what happens in my classes when we do this exercise, so it's a bit different doing it remotely, people find that the mind becomes much stiller. And it's a very nice practice to do before you go into meditation. I call it a bit of a cheat, to be honest, because it stills the mind a bit quicker for you.
Yeah.
So that's how, but you may not have, if it's the first time you've done it, you may not have experienced that as well. So no expectation.
I can add to that
Yes.
if you like.
Yes.
It comes from the yogic tradition, the Om chanting and the humming. And it actually has been proven scientifically that is actually balancing the vibration of all our cells in the body. It actually happens at the physical level, so that's why we feel it so vibrant.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Natasha.